The Raptors are in Phoenix to take on the Suns tonight, and oh, baby, what a game. What a contest tonight between the Raptors and the best team in the West, the best team in the entire NBA, the Phoenix Suns. Going into the contest, 53-13 were the Suns, only lost 7 games at home all season long, and the Raptors go in there and survive, winning 117-112, and are 36-30 on the season, have now won back-to-back contests. Or is it now 3 in a row? I think it's 2 games. Either way, the Raptors win a big one tonight. And it's 2 in a row, excuse me, right, because they won the last game against San Antonio, and they lost to Cleveland to start the road trip. Right, so what a game tonight, though. I mean, from the great start to the, mediocre second quarter, right, kind of back and forth, to the onslaught of the third, and you feel like you're going to run away with it. And then the comeback from the Suns, but the Raptors hold them off late and win this one. Let's break this puppy down right from the start. First quarter, Raptors, they are sluggish offensively to start the quarter, right? Scotty Barnes leading the way offensively in the early goings. And the Raptors pick it up as the quarter goes along, and they end up leading by 6, 30-24 at the end of the first quarter. Pascal with the buzzer beater 3 at the end of the first quarter. And the Raptors, all right, they're up by a 2-possession game after 1 quarter. That's nice, but the Phoenix Suns are the best team in the league, so it's really not saying much. You got to weather the storm. And in the second quarter, a very back-and-forth game. They cut it to 4. We build it back up to 6. They get it down to 2. We cut it back to 6. We get it back. They tie the game. Go up by 1. We bring it back up to 4 up. And at the end of the second quarter, you are up 28-26. Now, in the third quarter, I mean, again, same sort of thing happened. They went on a little run to start. They gave them the lead. Raptors battled back, and they closed the third quarter insanely strong. They drop a 40-piece. On 40-30 in the quarter, and the Raptors are going into the fourth quarter up by 14. However, you are facing the best team in the West, the best team in the NBA on home court. You know you're going to get a punch. It's just a matter of, can you weather the storm and come up with the win? Well, it didn't start good. They went on an 8-0 run to start the quarter, and just like that, it's a 6-point game in the first couple minutes, and we're like, well, not the way you wanted this to start. And offensively, the Raptors are sluggish. They're not moving the ball around. They bring out Biz and JaVale McGee to go real big against the Raptors, and that seemed to work for a little while. And, I mean, it was looking pretty ugly. They end up at 1 point taking a 3-point lead. Late in the game with 3 to go? Maybe 4 to go? And I'm sitting here like, the Raptors have no mojo offensively. They're gassed. And they're buzzing, and they're up by 3. The crowd's into it. This is not looking pretty. And then Gary Trent Jr. knocks down a 3 to tie it. And then the floodgates open. One turnover here. I can't remember if it was the Gary Trent layup or was it the... Yeah, it was the Gary Trent Jr. driving, misses it. I believe Khem Birch got the follow and tipped it up and through to make it a 2-point game. I couldn't get these all plays mixed up, but I know that happened. And then another turnover, Scotty Barnes gets into the passing lane and throws it down to give the Raptors a 2-possession game. And we're like, oh my God, this is actually happening. At one point, the Raptors were up by 6 again. We're like, wow, they weathered the storm. They were down by 3. They clawed back. They're now up by 6 late, but the Phoenix Suns are the best team in the NBA in clutch moments. So you cannot give these guys opportunities. And Devin Booker, actually I think late in the game, knocks down a big 3. And we're like, well, they're a tie game again. And then some huge, and when I say huge, I mean absolutely massive free throws down the stretch from Gary Trent Jr. Incredible night for GT. Easily the MVP in tonight's contest. He was incredible. And as I mentioned, Devin Booker has a chance to tie it, I believe, with he probably took the shot with 12 seconds left, maybe a little bit less than that. Misses it. Who gets the rebound? Gary Trent Jr. I believe him and Scotty, or maybe it was Khem, boxed out JaVale McGee. Or no, it was DeAndre Ayton they boxed out because he tipped it up and Gary Trent ended up coming down with it. Goes to the free throw line. Ices the game. and you win 117-112 on the road in Phoenix. I mean, these type of games are the ones Raptor fans look at and pull their damn hair out when you lose to Detroit and Orlando. And you're like, but you can play like this. Like, it's wild. It's absolutely wild. But what a game tonight for the Raptors, and a massive game in so many different ways. If you look at the standings-wise, Brooklyn won yesterday against Philly, right? So the Raptors got to keep that pace. They can't allow Brooklyn to get red hot and get up around them, right? Raptors won. So we stay that 2.5, 3-game lead, something like that. A 3 losses gap, let's put it that way. They have 33 losses. We have 30. So we're staying in that right now. Obviously, a tough game tomorrow for the Raptors, but all you can do is take care of tonight. And the Cleveland Cavaliers lost to the Miami Heat tonight. So the Raptors are now only 2 back of the Cavs. Now, obviously, they have the tie break for the regular season, so you got to win by at least half a game. But you did your job tonight. You got some help on the scoreboard. And, hey, you did a fantastic job. Let's get these player stats. Pascal Siakam, yeah, percentage-wise from the field, not the greatest. But 25 points, 7 boards, 10 dimes. Gave you the double-double. Was three rebounds away from a triple-double. Incredible night for Pascal. 10 of 24 from the field. So again, struggled a little bit there, but 3 of 4 from the line. Was 2 of 5 from distance, including some big-time threes. And he made the one at the end of the first quarter. I believe the other one was it in the third or the fourth? I can't remember when it was. But he made some big-time shots, did Pascal. Scotty Barnes, as I mentioned, started out red hot. Definitely cooled off as the game went along, but ended the game with 15 points, 6 boards, 1 dime on 7 of 17 shooting, 1 of 3 from distance. But he did have, and get this one, 5 steals and 2 blocks. He gave you 15 and 6 and 5 steals and 2 blocks. For what, your number 4 option? Well, I guess if you're talking about total shots, I guess it was your 3rd option. Not bad at all. I'll take that any day of the week. You need that against a team like Phoenix. Fred VanVleet, I thought he really struggled tonight. I love Fred. We all love Fred. He's obviously our Freddie All-Star, but I think he really struggled tonight. Look, late in the game, his D on Devin Booker was remarkable, but in the early goings of the game, especially in the first half, he really struggled. I think in the first half, he had 4 points, was 1 of 7 shooting, was 0 of 5 from distance, and had 5 turnovers, right? It was a really rough first half for Freddie V. However, he does end up going 12 points, 8 boards, 4 dimes, 3 of 11 from the field, was 4 of 4 from the free throw line, and ends up going 2 of 8 from distance. But those 5 turnovers happened, and he didn't turn over the ball the rest of the game. So he definitely had a better second half, more sound second half, but that first half was quite ugly for Fred. But everyone else was contributing and picking up the slack a little bit and allowed him to get his feet wet there in the 3rd and 4th quarter. So a great job overall from Fred late in this game, especially guarding Devin Booker. Now, let's get to our MVP of the game. And we miss this guy dearly because Gary Trent Jr., since the All-Star break, had been royally struggling, right? The looks were there. He just had not been making shots. Well, tonight, he struggled early on, and it doesn't seem like that. But early on, I believe he was like, 1 of 4 from distance, 1 of 3 from distance, something like that. And struggled early on shooting. The ball was like 2 of 6 or something like that. He ends up getting 42 points, 8 boards, a dime, shot 13 of 21 from the field, 6 of 6 from the line, 8 of 11 from three-point range. Can we say that 4 of those 6 free throws were late in the game and 1 of those 8 threes were in the dying minutes to tie the game and kind of swing the momentum? What a night for Gary. He had no steals and no blocks in the game, which is shocking, but just making buckets. Absolutely incredible night for Gary, and I'm hoping this is a sign of things to come for Gary because you're going to need it tomorrow in Denver, all right? Now, off the bench, Precious Achiuwa. We all know you're going to get energy from the guy, and we all know what Precious is. He's going to be good, but there are times he's going to think he's way better than he actually is in the moment. Not saying he's not good. He had 11 points and 7 boards, shot 3 of 8, was 4 of 4 from the free throw line, had 1 of 2 from distance. But I looked at his game, and quite a few times he was getting too happy with things, right? Trying to back guys down way too much, and it was just handling the ball way too much. I'm like, Precious, look, you're great, you're red hot, including that absolute coast-to-coast monster slam. But I want to see him, maybe a little off-ball stuff at times. But hey, you know what? If you're going to make an impact, give me 11 and 7, like 16 minutes of work, and was a plus player on the floor, I'm not going to complain too much. He was also 4 of 4 from the line. from a guy who shoots like 50-something% from the free throw line. So a great job from Precious in that sense. And defensively, look, he was great. I thought Precious defensively, I love what he brings in the defensive end, especially in the early goings of the game. And it was a big turning factor when when DeAndre Ayton was just cooking, right? Just cooking Birch early on. I'm thinking to myself, please get Precious in there. At least he's going to be active. And he comes in, and the first shot that he faces, that Ayton takes, is with a Precious to a hand in his face, and he misses it, right? What a job from Precious tonight. He was fantastic. Now, team stats, 45% from the field, 44% from three-point range. You see what happens when you shoot the rock well? And there we go, back-to-back contests where the Raptors get 90% from the free throw line or better, 19 of 21 from the free throw line, 90% on the dot. Really solid night at the stripe. They also shot 50% from the field. However, they struggled from three-point range, 31% from three, 76% from the line. Before we go any further, though, can we talk about Cam Payne? He was great tonight. But I'm sorry. When Gary's getting those 2 offensive fouls, you don't need to flop you don't need to look like Neymar out there. Any soccer fans, you know what I'm talking about when it comes to Neymar. The guy flops right and he's like having a full-on episode on the ground. Buddy, you got hit in the top of the head. You don't have whiplash. You're fine. Get up and play. And he did the rest of the game. I wonder why. He was fine. Sometimes, flopping is one thing, but when you're flopping like a fish out of water, there's something wrong. But I don't care. Raptors win. That's all that matters to me. Now, Raptors were +7 on the offensive glass. In the early goings of the game, they were just throttling the glass. I mean, it was like 8-0 in offensive boards early on. It was absolutely ridiculous. Second chance points, you were +5 in the second chance points category. So, hey, you did a job on the glass big time, and you held DeAndre Ayton, right? You didn't allow him to just destroy you in the paint when it comes to rebound of the ball. You did a job, and I'm proud of these guys. +10 in the fast break. I'd say a good few of those were late in the game, but I don't care. Raptors win against the best team in the entire NBA tonight. They've beaten Milwaukee twice. They've now beat Phoenix once, and the one loss they had to Phoenix was a really tight game at Scotiabank Arena. I mean, they've beaten Miami twice, I believe. This Raptor team, when they play to their potential, they can beat anybody. But the question is, can they do it consistently? And that's been the question all year long. And, they've had great streaks, like the 8-game win streak, but then since the All-Star break, they've struggled. They've been kind of up and down like this, more or less down, but they found it tonight. And if they can play like this 85% of the time, they're going to win a lot of games. But it's not easy. Speaking of not easy, tomorrow night, 10 p.m. tip-off, Mile High City in Denver. 10 p.m. tip-off. Oh my God, those late games really do kill me. And then you have the 2 LA games, 10:30 each. I'm like, great. But Denver's a good team. They're playing some incredible basketball. Jokic is playing out of his damn mind. It's not going to be an easy one, especially in the second night of a back-to-back. But with the way this Raptor team played tonight, if they can take this mojo into tomorrow, anything can happen. All right, so you know what, guys? That is going to do it for this one. If you enjoyed the video and enjoyed the game this evening, because if you didn't, you're clearly not a Raptors fan, smack the like button. Do appreciate that. Hit that subscribe button. You guys not already, comment down below thoughts on the video, thoughts on the game, what you like, what you not like from today's game day for the Toronto Raptors. The Twitter link is down below, so follow up, send me a DM, all that great stuff. The Instagram link is also down below, so follow up there if you guys have not done so already. And I'll talk to you guys, Jay's Edition, whenever they make something happen, or Spring Training Edition, whatever comes first. And as for the Toronto Maple Leafs, they take on the Buffalo Sabres on Sunday in the Heritage Classic. That video will be uploaded a little bit later than after the game. It'll be a little bit later than we'd like, but it will be uploaded on Sunday night for sure. And as for the Toronto Raptors, they play tomorrow night against the Denver Nuggets in Denver. 10 p.m. tip-off. Raptors looking for the 3rd consecutive victory in back-to-back games against back-to-back really good opponents. We'll have to wait and see how it plays out, though. It's not going to be easy. Let's see what these guys can do, all right? So thank you guys so much for listening and watching. I hope you enjoyed the video and the game tonight. We'll talk to you guys then.